Hi everybody, welcome to G3 Outdoors NM. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Jake.
And we're gonna do this a little bit different here. We're gonna start doing a little introduction. We film our muleback riding and our hunts and whatnot as we go out. We're not very consistent, but we're trying to get more consistent, and we just want everybody to kind of see the faces behind the names as we're doing it. I normally film with the camera up on my hat, so I don't carry it where it's, where it's out there where it can look at me and whatnot, so it ends up looking at her or whoever else is with us. But anyhow, we hope you enjoy our content, and we're going to try a little different format, like I said, and see what we can do. Thank you for watching, and today we're in beautiful Lincoln County, New Mexico. We're in Billy the Kid country. Lincoln is right down the road here, about 6 miles. Fort Stanton is right back over the hill here, about 2 miles, and they've got the BLM's got a really good trail system for horses, bicycles, and hikers out here in this country. And we've already started filming some of the trails. We're trying to get them all filmed, and today we're gonna be kind of on Kit Carson and Capitan Overlook. So that's what we're doing. Can't hardly see behind us here, but just over the mountain here is where they found Smoky Bear during that fire. I've put out some content on that too if you want to go back through and look at it. But anyhow, hope you enjoy our content, and we're going to get to filming here, get everything saddled up and the dogs harnessed up, and we're going to get out and get with it. So thank you again for watching.
So we brought Rose and Abby today. Rose is I like to call her Fuzzy Wuzzy in the wintertime. She gets pretty fuzzy. Rodo, come here. Oh, there's fire. Both of our pups wear harnesses more so that we can see them than anything, and they have bells on them. Kind of helps us keep track. They know when the harnesses come out that they get to go for a ride.
Don't forget your dog water for your pupper dogs.
Kevin's got to do his...
We got a hay belly.
I cheated. I went on the other side of the trailer over there and got up on a rock.
Do I need to get any more out of this, Ab? I just don't want to come off. Okay, come here.
If you're wondering about Kevin's saddle there, that's an Australian saddle. Found it on Facebook Marketplace. Most Aussie saddles have a fairly small seat. Apparently Aussies are little. We're a little bit bigger. So finally found one big enough for him.
What's going on here?
Are your stirrups let out? What do you need?
My stirrups are like 500 million sizes too far. Whew. What in the world happened there?
I haven't touched them. I had to make some adjustments on Miss Abby there. Kevin's stirrups for some reason seemed way long, so Abby says she wants to go down the road. We're gonna go over here and see if we can catch this trail.
Now, right behind this bush here, now behind that next tree, but anyhow, that big gap right there, on the left-hand side of that gap, is where they found Smoky Bear. 1950, I don't remember if it was 53 or, I don't remember the year, but that's where he was found, is in Capitan Gap, and he's buried right over here in Capitan. You know, the gentleman, the firefighter that rescued him, he took him home, they rehabilitated him. I believe he went to the National Zoo for a very long time, and I don't remember what year he died. We'll have to go do a video on that, but he lived out his life being the spokesperson for firefighting safety, and to this day he still is you know, our firefighter safety awareness bear. So anyhow, we're looking at the Capitan Mountains there, the only mountain range in New Mexico at least that runs east and west. So very, very kind of unique. Right up here, and I don't know where I'm pointing, but up there on the peak, it's a little over 10,000 feet if I remember right. I've got you on my hat, so it's gonna be, I might be moving a little bit, but anyhow, good morning. February the 8th, Saturday, February the 8th. It has been unseasonably warm over here. It is like 70 degrees out here right now, and you know, we ought to be down in the, I think the average high right now is the 50s up here. So anyhow, here we are. We're gonna go up around this hill. We're fixing to hit the Kit Carson Trail. Probably, I don't remember, maybe about halfway through it. It goes all the way from it starts over there at the horse area. Should be a video on my channel for the horse area. So, but anyhow, here we go.
There's some trail markers right here. I don't know. I think the trail's actually right up here that we're gonna catch and go and kind of see it over there on that hill. We're gonna go catch that one and go up over and so Kevin's back behind me there. He's recording on his helmet cam, and I got the handheld. Most of the trails here at Fort Stanton are kind of mostly soft. We don't have any shoes on our mules and horse. There's one trail, Zamora. We haven't ridden it yet, but it's pretty rocky. We've ridden pieces of it, so we know when we ride that one we're gonna have to put boots on. So there off to the left is Kit Carson Loop, and then we're going the Overlook Trail, the Capitan Overlook Trail. Youth Conservation's been up here doing some trail work and maintenance. We'll probably see when we come back down they've bucked up some of the trees and cut some of the dead ones out, and just doing a good job of helping maintain the trail. Backcountry Horseman comes and does some trail work as well on these trails. So it's just a really nice ride. Apologize for the wind if the wind noise is getting you pretty good. There's a little breeze today. It's not cold though. It's about 66 degrees. I just have my vest on and a long sleeve shirt, and seems to be just about right. So just beautiful country. We haven't had any rain to speak of, or any snow. I know they've gotten a little bit up here, but nothing like what we need. It's been awful dry, so we're hoping this summer, the rest of this winter into spring, that we get some good monsoons going and get some rain, because the fire danger is pretty high. So got my new Macati reins that I'm trying on Miss Rose. They're a little stiffer than my other ones that I use on Trudy, but and they're a little thicker. Take a little bit of getting used to, but that'll be okay. A little pinon tree. We haven't really looked to see if there's pinyons. This is really the first ride that we've been out on this year.
Okay, so Kit Carson Loop. So we're pretty much starting where Kit Carson Loop and takes off to the left here, and Capitan Overlook is the one that we're going to take today. And this is a really neat trail. I haven't filmed this trail yet. This one is actually a really long trail. I don't remember the exact mileage on it, but it goes all the way up to the private land up there by Ranches of Sonterra and the far west end of this. So but here we go. You gonna go catch up to Rose?
Did you start Onyx tracks? GoPro, stop recording.
Right across over in there, if you want to see a video about that country, well, check out our Homestead Loop video. That's the Homestead Loop trail across there, and we did a video on it. I think it was last year. Might have been further than last year. I don't remember exactly, but there's a whole trail that runs around over there. It starts. You can go from the campground around to it and go underneath the highway, but that's where it is. And now you get a look at Her Majesty. One of my favorite places in the world right here is Sierra Blanca. We just hit the ridge and the wind kicked up, but been around that mountain for coming up on 49 years now, and just love being up here in these mountains. We're gonna film some stuff up in that country too. Over here there's a little peak. I don't know if I'm pointing to it right or not, but that's called No Gal Peak, and Bonita Lake is sitting down at the bottom of it. There's some fishing and whatnot. There isn't any the camping, so they got flooded out here twice already, and The city of Alamogordo owns that. That's their drinking water reservoir. So they got flooded out here, forest fires, and they just got it opened back up for fishing and whatnot. But they haven't done anything with the campground. So if you want to go camping, you will have to camp up above them on the forest, up above the private land on the forest. So getting some switchbacks here coming off of the hill back off into the valley. I always forget there's a fence up here. The cows are down there. I know that's Brewer's private, but I always forget that this thing comes all the way to that fence and this doesn't go all the way to the highway. That answers another question that I had, but I'll save that one for another video. But anyhow, we're gonna drop off this trail here, and you never know what we're gonna find around the next corner. Stay tuned.
So we know the wind's gonna be terrible down here. It happens to be on this side, so we might have to do some voiceovers.
Okay, here we are. We're in the lead. We got off the hill back there. Looks like there was a trail that came across there too at some point, but we're right here. Is it her turn to take the lead? Okay.
So right up here on this little saddle, we're coming to a trail junction. There's the road that we drove in on comes on down and goes over there to a dirt tank. I can't remember if it goes all the way. It goes over there and dead ends, or you can make a loop. Gets a little rough. Trails are marked pretty good. It says go to the right here to go on Capitan Overlook, which is what we're doing today. Go over here. This one is Kit Carson. And it comes up, makes a little loopy. That's Pershing. But we're gonna do Capitan Overlook today. So we gotta go over here. Pershing.
Pershing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kit Pershing goes back that way.
Yeah.
There he is. Big right Miss Rose. We were having some issues on this camera. I put an SD card in it, a bigger one, a 520, and this is a new camera that my brother, I'd lost my other camera, and I guess I didn't really lose it because I did find it, but I had misplaced it. And so my brother's like, hey, I've got one and I don't like it. Said it doesn't film like I want it to. We'll just use our phones. So we got it. And I put it on, and then it started like freaking out with the card. And I don't know if that card was not formatted right or whatnot, but we put that card in the old camera that Jake's got on right now. And it works fine on that camera. And this one that was that was in my box, it's working fine in this one. So I think we got our camera situation figured out, and we're gonna try to get out here and start getting some more of these filmed. Our goal, there's over 100 miles trails out here, so our goal is well, we had a goal to have them all done by spring break this year, and that didn't happen. Hunts and life and whatnot, but we're gonna try to, I'm not gonna make no promises or put a time frame on it, but we're just gonna start filming, and we've got a list of what we've done, and we've got a list of what we need to do, and we're just gonna start coming out at least once a month, and hopefully get a bunch of them filmed. So it's gonna be a good deal. Dirt tank right here, it's dry. Like I said, we haven't had a whole lot of snow this year, so this thing, sometimes it's got water in it. Hopefully we get some rain or some snow or some kind of moisture. There is a storm coming in, supposed to get significantly cooler tonight, and some rain chances, snow chances up here this week, so we're gonna pray for some moisture. Crossing the main road again. Yeah, look, if you can't get on real good, I have those days, but right there's a get on rock if you need to take a little break and get off. Right there, huh, Abby? Look at that rock. That'd make a good rock for Daddy to get on. Got those floppy mule ears going. She thinks she starved plumb to death because she didn't eat this morning, but we gave them a hay net full of hay. We use those hay chicks nets. We really like them. You know, they've got everything from like a quarter bale up to a big square bale. I think we've got a bunch of different ones this morning. I think Jake put a half a bale of teff in, and they ate because they're used to eating as soon as we turn them out. We've always got them out on hay. But yeah, she still thinks she's starved to death because she probably had to share. We're trying to eliminate that as much as we can.
There's a dirt tank. It's a little dry right now. Looks like we're gonna head right down to it. But if we get some rain, a lot of times this one will have some water in it, and good for, but most of the time this one's dry. You can tell at some point it had some water in it last year. Just pretty cool country back in here to think that you're riding the same country that Billy the Kid rode all over the place over here. He probably knew every nook and cranny and canyon and ridge and everything, so. That road that we're parked on comes right over here, so you could come over here, and they blocked it so you can't like drive up there, but at least you can park right there, walk across, hike. Some trail markers over there, but I don't remember. I don't think that there's an actual trail that goes across there. So in the fall, you got to watch. There are hunts out here. Youngest boy JR took a nice elk a couple years ago. taking some deer. He wants to try to come over here this next fall and hunt deer with a bow. So we'll put in and see what happens with that. It's probably going to be a little tough, but that's what he likes to do, so that's what we'll try to do with him. I went out underneath the power lines here, Capitan Overlook, looking up a pretty good little looking canyon with some little rock ledges in it. Got around the corner here, and it looked like there was a pretty cool one up here. We've only ridden this trail once before, and I can't remember how far we rode down it. I know we haven't rode the whole thing yet, so there's some deer track on the trail, maybe a little elk, so you never know, we might find some deer and elk back in here. This is not as one of the, yeah, it's still a fairly popular trail, but not as much as some of the ones closer to the campground. There's some pretty cool little rock ledges up there. They, one of the ladies in one of our Facebook groups that we keep in contact with, some hikers found some bear track, and I don't remember if it was on this part of the trail or if it was further closer to the campground, but anyway, so there are bear up here. We've luckily or unluckily, I'm not sure how you want to do, I've never seen one. We know they're here. We know there's mountain lion. Maybe some up there in those rocks. You never know. But usually the most wildlife we see might be some turkey, mule deer, and some elk. And then, of course, all different songbirds. And Rose needs to learn how to stand up sometimes. All sorts of songbirds and woodpeckers and larks and lizards. And we've seen a couple of snakes out. And not this time of year usually, but it's pretty warm today. You never know what you might see. There's a marker up here in this tree. They do have endurance rides up here, and they mark the trails and for the routes, and I don't know if this is for one of the longer ones, or you know, they got 25, 50, 100 miles. You know, they go all over the place. Over here we've always finding markers that they didn't all get pulled when the race was over. But that's pretty cool. This little part of the trail, it's a little rocky. It's not horrible. These trails are open to horseback hikers and bicycles, mountain bikes, so just be aware that you are sharing the trail. We've been pretty fortunate, haven't had any issues. Mountain bikers or hikers, a lot of times we're out here and we don't even see anybody. You might meet another rider closer to the campground, but a lot of times on these trails that are further out, you won't even see anybody. So, kind of cool. You know, Mr. Brett Vaughn, born 100 years too late, would be all over that up there trying to find lion and maybe a bear. I don't know. He likes those, he says those lions like a lot of times those little rocky outcroppings and stuff. I don't know if you can hear that jingling. That's Steyer behind me with his bell. I don't have to look back and see him. I can just hear and know that he's close by. If he gets too far where I can't hear the bell, then I'll holler for him. But he's pretty good at, he's a year and a half old now, and he's been going with us on trail rides since he was about, oh, probably about 4 months old. He went on his first one, just a little short ride. The trail here's washing out a little bit, so we always try to you know, maintain our trails if we can, and if they've brushed it like that, say, hey, don't go this way. Try to, you know, make sure you're going around. Come on, Rose. I know. We're trying to control erosion so we don't get big ditches. I know there's a few trails that they've got some pretty good ditches in them, so try to. So.
And phone line, cable line, whatever it is, going over to Fort Stanton. Fort Stanton does still have, they've got a museum. It's open to the public. Go by and check it out. There is a ton of history in there. They're rebuilding stuff. They're making it better all the time. Look them up. I think it's fortstanton.org. I don't remember exactly what it is, but look up Fort Stanton. They have a Fort Stanton and a Lincoln After Dark series. Get to go ghost hunting. Man, we went through the hospital one year, and that was quite interesting. There's a ton of history, like I said, from, you know, the Apache raids, Billy the Kid days, Apache raids, being the tuberculosis hospital, having the German prisoners of war during World War II, everything that thing has supported over the years. So if you get a chance to come over here and ride, go check out the museum, talk to them folks. They'll love to visit with you, and go check out the grounds and check out the history. We also have the National Cemetery is, and that might be a state cemetery, but anyhow, cemetery for our fallen soldiers and their families is just past the fort on the way towards the airport, and I know a few people that are buried there. God bless them. Thank you for your service to our country, and protecting the rights and everything that lets us come out and do what we do every day, and not being, you know, being underneath the government, you know, full government control. We've got our freedoms and our liberties because of the men and women that have sacrificed their lives to fight for that. So, you know, if you get a chance, go check it out. It's a beautiful area. I've probably got some clips of it on as we're riding on that it's South something trail, but anyhow, check it out. Neat country. We are starting to go up the canyon now. Maybe we'll see some wildlife, I don't know, but anyhow, it is a really nice day. I'm glad to be in the saddle and be out here filming for you folks.
Oop. A little closer with those rock outcroppings you were looking at earlier. Oh, they're behind the trees. My little sty. And if you notice, you can't hardly see him in the grass, so that's why he has a green bandana, so we can help see him, because he blends in so good.
We've got a fire alert north of the Capitan on Long Ranch Road.
Oh shoot, it's dry.
That might be where the cops were headed to.
Could have been. So we found a fence over here. Trail goes up, kind of parallels it up through here.
Okay.
The rocky part of this trail. Addie says, I don't want to go up the rocks. We're going to go out front. Kevin said his camera died, so we'll record with this one for a little bit. Hopefully I do. a decent job. And just don't get no big hurry, and Rose will pick her way up these little rock steps. She's part of the Starving Mule Committee as well.
I remember how the wind burned.
So I know you can't really see it probably on the camera, but right over there in that area is the Fort Stanton Veteran Cemetery. And then right down here in the valley right there is Fort Stanton. Can't really see it up here, it's kind of tucked in behind the hill, but down there where those trees are and stuff. And got some videos of that. And this is one of the canyons down here below us that we've ridden through, and it pops you out down there by the fort. There's trails all over the place. Just how big of a circle do you want to make? And there's the Capitan Mountains. So we came over, topped out on top, crossed the road, and now we're headed back towards the truck, and the road's right up above us here. So, but there's a nice trail going down, kind of off of it, so you're not riding the road. Stopped and gave the puppy dogs a drink. Kevin's making more tack adjustments, and it seems like that's all we do. Especially when we ride different critters, everybody's shaped a little bit different, so we got to make adjustments. I don't know if you can see that little trail over there. There's a Jeep parked up on the top of the hill. We just met a hiker. He had his dog on a leash, so we're supposed to have the right of way, but we went ahead and moved off the trail since our dogs are not on a leash, just that way we wouldn't have any confrontations. But we were just seeing some trash. We're like, we're just gonna have to bring the pack animal up here and with the panniers, and just as we come across trash, load it up and pack it out, because we want to make sure that the trails are open to everybody. So, but that trail around there, that hill right there, is a pretty cool little trail. It goes around and you can ride back down to the fort or the campground or wherever. There's a rub on that tree right there. A little sta-sta. A little red trail dog that blends in with like all the trails that we ride, so. We're on Pershing Trail again, headed back to where it teed off before, towards the beginning of the video, to head back to the truck. So this one kind of meanders along this kind of top of this ridge line. We were just on Outlaw Trail. Cloud in the sky over there. See the shining up there on the tops of those hills. That's the Sierra Blanca Regional Airport. They have maps at the RV park campground there. and of course Onyx has the trails too. If you have Onyx, I don't know if I think Avenza has the trails as well. There's quite a few different trail apps that probably have them. We've done a paper maps till we kind of figured out, you know, what crossed where, and yeah, we kind of got to know the area a little bit. That's pretty good. I'm gonna stop for a minute because the wind's getting pretty bad.
In the years that followed, how I cursed that day that the trail took me away.